first here's Ted with his review of the Audi 90 Quattro.
My feelings about the 90 Quattro, and all Audis in general, can be summed up quickly. Excellent cars, but underpowered. Take the latest version of the 90 Quattro. Here we have an automobile that is among the most sophisticated on the road, with excellent handling abilities, superb brakes, and one of the best interior layouts in the business. But the cruel truth is, it's a slow car. How slow is it? Off the line, and it speeds up to 80 clicks, it'll be left behind by the likes of the Eagle Talon, Toyota Celica, Mazda 323 GT, and just about every comparable automobile on the road. Audi are claiming a 0 to 60 time of just over 8 seconds, but I beg to differ. In the mid 9-second range is more like it. I think the problem is that the transmission ratios are too tall, and as a result, the car is sluggish at low speed. It desperately needs some bottom-end grunt. Having said that, I hasten to add that once the engine gets its revs up, the 90 is a magnificent touring automobile with first-class highway manners and a top speed in excess of 225 kilometers an hour. Because of its state-of-the-art aerodynamics, it has almost nothing in the way of wind noise, and the front seats rank right up there with the likes of the Saab 9000 or Volvo 760 in terms of comfort and support. Powering our test 90 Quattro is a 2.3-liter twin camshaft 5-cylinder engine with 4 valves per cylinder. This is the optional power plant, and a regular 2-valve version is also available. At 6,000 RPM, it develops 164 horsepower and is mated to a 5-speed manual close-ratio transmission only. Audi is not selling an automatic version of this car in North America, yet. Sticker price for our 90 Quattro is just over $42,000. And don't forget, this is a full-time 4-wheel drive automobile with a centered torsion differential, which stands for torque sensing. Basically, this gives the 90 Quattro power at all 4 wheels all of the time. If any 2 wheels slip, the other 2 will increase their traction accordingly. What it may lack in acceleration performance, the 90 more than makes up for in traction and road holding ability. This car could probably climb a tree if it had to. It also has anti-locking brakes as standard equipment, plus gas-filled shock absorbers and dual knock sensors on the engine. About the interior, I've often complained that cars seem to be getting smaller and smaller inside these days. Even some of my favorites, like the BMW 3 Series, Volvo 7 Series, and some Jaguars, are a little shy in the elbow room department. That is definitely not the case here. Considering its relatively small dimensions, the 90 Quattro is blessed with an absolutely humongous interior. Back seat legroom is phenomenal, and I found headroom front and back to be excellent. If you appreciate the virtues of an automobile that has modest exterior dimensions but an ample interior, you'll love the 90 Quattro. Unfortunately, the price paid for such a large cabin is a rather Lilliputian trunk that can barely contain a set of golf clubs. You can drop the rear seat back to carry skis or whatever, but as a grocery getter, the 90 is a little short on trunk space. Baguettes are definitely out. Take it up the slopes, however, and you'll become a fan immediately. I don't know why Audi continue to fit relatively small, low-powered engines to their cars. If the 90 Quattro had just one more cylinder or a supercharger, it would be awesome. Some of the Quattro's competitors include the BMW 325iX, which is smaller inside but about the same price, somewhat cheaper but very competent Toyota Celica 4-wheel drive turbo, Mazda's little 323 GT turbo, which is also a very quick 4-wheel drive but quite a bit smaller, and coming up soon, the Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive.
Now, I admit this car does take a bit of getting used to, Tony, but it's well worth the wait as far as I'm concerned. It is. It's a wonderful car. It looks great. It's a really original design. Looks wonderful. The instrument layout inside is to my way, it's just perfect for me. Everything's on one panel. It's a wonderfully done job. The small trunk is a penalty. I don't know. You've got that lovely big interior, but that you really pay for it with the trunk, which I don't approve of. And why a 5-cylinder engine? I mean, why not a nice straight 6 like BMW?
I don't know. I love this car. We'll get that straight at the beginning. But I think the 5-cylinder engine that Audi has stuck with all these years is a vanity. I really do. It hasn't been good to them. I mean, the whole thing with the 5000 has been a real headache for them. I think they should just scrap it, get a good V6 or an inline 6. I agree. I couldn't agree more. You know?
Exactly. I think that its technical complexity for its own sake the technical wizards at Audi, and they have lots of them there. They do wonderful things, but I mean, this was saying, oh, let's make something different from everybody else, and it was a mistake. It was silly.
And I want to also talk about the rear seat back for a second, just to clarify. What happens is there's one of those extendable bags in the center of the rear seat, so the back seat does not actually fall forward, but there's a bag you can put skis and I don't know what else.
And that bag is restrictive. If it's one of those bags that you can't actually remove or push things through, you cannot use it for any loads longer than skis. And skis these days, as everybody knows, are shorter than they used to be.
Yeah.
You can't thread a 10-foot 2x4 into the footwell, which I find myself doing sometimes.
Yeah. And the other thing that I can't avoid thinking about with this car is that it still is a specialist car. You have to love this car because it's expensive. And for half the money almost, you can get other cars that are every bit as fast. I hate to say it, but
well,
it's
the
a problem.
Fact. You know? It is expensive. People who've owned Audi 4000 before, this is a descendant of that range of cars. They go down to Audi to find out what their $22,000, $4,000 is, and it's $40,000 or so. Yeah. And I mean, they're going straight to other dealers, Japanese especially.
And also, Audi are in trouble in North America. I mean, things are getting better, but still, they have had their share of problems. If this car can't save Audi in North America, I think they should fold up their tents and go home. Well, it's such a good, strong offering.
It is, and I mean, the fact is that this car is hugely popular in Europe. It's a very popular car. You see them all over the place. They're very highly regarded. Here, they're just right now out of favor. I hope Audi bounces back. They've had a bad run of luck with that 5000.
Yeah, they're going to have to drop their price by about another $10,000 if they want to sell this car in any kind of volume. And quite frankly, I can't see that.
I think so. I think what they need actually is an entry-level Audi 90 or 80.
Not going to happen.
No, probably not.
Okay, what don't we like about this car? The acceleration is not what it could be. It's a little slow. It gets better, but it's a little slow. The trunk is a token gesture. Might as well not be there. On the other hand, what we do like about it has handling above and beyond reproach. You won't find another car that handles as well as this one in the same price range. Brakes are excellent. Interior is huge for its size.
We'll be back.